Hey, good morning, guys. It is June 2nd, and Chambers is in Psalms 25, and it's this passage. Psalms 25 um, is all about living life with the fear of the Lord and how it changes the way we live. And how he guides us, how he protects us, how he watches over us. And in the middle of that, it is Psalm 25:12 that says, "Who then is the man that fears the Lord? He will instruct him in the way chosen for him. He will spend his days in prosperity." The man who fears the Lord. And Chambers kind of takes a twist on this and says, "What are you haunted by in today's study?" And the haunting thing is it's an interesting word because it obviously carries with it some some preconceived notions of what I guess what the world teaches as what a haunting is. We always think ghosts and goblins and spirits when we think haunting, and there's something to that, and so Chambers is kind of playing on that a little bit. um, and he talks about this life in Christ as a haunting, as God haunting us, as him. And I really like the comparison he makes between a mother and a baby, or mother and a child, he says. But think about a mother and a baby. There is very little separation between a mother and a baby. The mother's concerns are always for her child, and she's always conscious and aware of her child. And the child, whether a baby, whether they are always consciously thinking of their mother, it that connection to their mother is absolutely primary. Like there's nothing stronger in the life of a baby than their connection to their mother. And he says here in this first paragraph that the abiding consciousness of our life is to be God, not thinking about him. And so, like I said, a baby doesn't think about its mother. The mother is its life. The mother of a baby is the life of that baby. And so it's an interesting, comparing us to babies, I know is sometimes a little bit humbling, but it really is. The whole of our life, he says, inside and out, is to be absolutely haunted by the presence of God. There's not a thinking about God. There's not a it's something that's a little more visceral and um, well, haunting, if you will. So let me read some more of what Chambers said here. If we are haunted by God, and here in the second paragraph, nothing else can get in, no cares, no tribulation, no anxieties. So if we think about that haunting like almost like a shroud, think about something that's like covering us. Um, and you think, and what I thought as I was reading this, I had this. Um, a lot of times I'll write what comes to mind as I'm reading something, a statement that comes to mind as I'm reading it at the bottom of the page. And what I wrote was, nothing gets through this shroud, this haunting, really, this covering, if you will. Nothing gets through that he doesn't allow to pass through. And the truth is, if we're not shrouded by the presence of God, then a lot of things will pass through. We are not protected from everything that the world throws at us. Um, but the covering of God, only what he allows to pass through gets through. Um, he says here in that same paragraph, to be haunted by God is to have an effective barricade against all the onslaughts of the enemy. And and so we kind of dwell in this. For some reason, the image. Have you ever seen a movie where there's an explosion and the person is jumping into like a body of water, and there's fire, and the fire can't penetrate the water. The fire's on top of the water, and the person jumps into the water, and the fire is above the water but can't come into the water where they are. And you think, and that's kind of what, this flood, or this this body that surrounds us, the fires of life cannot penetrate. Um, and I don't know if that's a great metaphor, but it was just an image that came to mind. The the way he ends it here, God is our refuge, nothing can come through that shelter. And like I said, only the things that he knows are for our good, the things that sometimes we perceive, it's really funny that sometimes we perceive as evil, but God would not let evil pass through. He only lets the things that are good. We just don't perceive them as good. A lot of times, tribulation and trials and sickness and those kinds of things he allows to pass through, and we don't perceive them as good. But so just today, I would say, and I'm going to as well, just kind of be mindful of the fact that we are shrouded, covered, haunted, whatever, however you want to put it, surrounded by the presence of God. Not thinking about God, but being um, immersed in God. That's my encouragement today. Have a great day, guys.